Happy Miracle Monday. This is Dawn Petalino, and I'm your transformational coach and best-selling author of Peace, Power, and Miracles. And Miracle Monday is where I remind you of truths that can put you back in touch with miracles in your life. Because when we remember the truth of who we are, miracles are a natural occurrence. As A Course in Miracles says, miracles occur naturally, and when they are not, something has gone wrong. And so that something that has gone wrong is that we've disconnected from who we are, which is a spiritual being in a human body. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about free will versus willingness in today's Miracle Monday. You know, free will is the idea that we can choose. We can always have a choice about what we decide to do or not do. If you get guidance, you can listen to it, you cannot listen to it, you know? And we've all done that before, right? But free will, sometimes we think of free will as power too, because we think, I'm going to make this happen, I'm going to go out and do this, I'm going to create this, and there's a force behind it. And the difference is that when we're coming from free will, that we actually have no power, because it's like you're just that little battery, and until you're like put into an object that can generate something, you're just this useless little battery. But whenever we have that battery and we hook it into a mechanism where now it can actually create something, where now energy is flowing through it, now it can actually do something. So willingness is where we don't try to create out of force and determination on a free will. Willingness, you know, the Course of Love tells us that you're here. The reason you're here is to remove all barriers from the realization of what love is. You know, what love is. We have these barriers that we've just, through life and through experience and whatnot, and our own woundedness, where we've separated from love, and we come up with these ideas. And the whole thing now is to join back. We have to be joining back to the idea of show me what love is, because a part of me has lost it. And so willingness is the willingness, as A Course of Love tells us, and I refer to these two books, The Course in Miracles and The Course of Love, a lot. But The Course of Love tells us that your willingness is, you have to be willing to be loved by your source, to receive love from your source, and to be loved for exactly who you are. Okay, so what we're here to do is to become these elevated selves in this form. We're not going to lose our humanness, but we're going to hold that pure higher consciousness, that higher self, that God self mentality within this form. But when we do free will's coming from the human aspect of determination. And you can do that, but it's only going to get you human results. And it's not going to have a lot of power behind it. Maybe you've experienced that, where you've been determined to do something, you followed through with it, and the effects aren't exactly what you had hoped. But when we have a willingness, as opposed to free will, we have a willingness to be loved by our source. That means we have a willingness to join with the higher self. Now, this involves a surrender. It involves that's what it means when it says you have to die to yourself daily. We die to this self, to the physical self. We don't need to literally die, but we surrender that physical self to the higher self. Now, in order to see results, and you got to remember, these results are going to be coming from a higher mind. So they might not be the results you want, because they're actually going to be exponentially better. So when we want to see something in our outer world, we can't just kind of have a free will and determination to make these effects. We have to go to the cause. We have to have a shift in cause, which is, the cause is, are you coming from separation from love, from your source, or are you coming in union from your source? And in order to see the effects in the world, we have to shift the cause. Now, the Course of Love says the only thing that is required is your willingness. And the willingness to do what? The willingness to die daily, the willingness to surrender, the willingness to, what it says, what will now serve you is seeing through your heart. the willingness to be loved by your source, which means on some level we kind of drop our agenda and we make our willingness to join with our source. It says in the Course of Love, says you seldom remember that you did not create yourself. I love that. You seldom remember this, that you did not create yourself. So we go back to the source. Now, in order to go back to the source, that means going back to the heart, right? The mind is here to become aware of the heart. And then when we feel that love in the heart, the mind is the one who follows through with whatever the heart is telling us. So we have to join in union in order to see effects in the world. You've got to shift cause. And it says in the Course of Love, even your temporary willingness is enough. Your temporary willingness, this doesn't have to be conviction. And, it doesn't have to be like, but it will lead to conviction. It will lead to conviction. So it says that you just have to have the perception through your heart. Now, how can you do this? First of all, by putting your hand on your heart. You bring your awareness to your heart space, right here in that little divot. Secondly, you slow down and you breathe in. When we slow down and I breathe in, we slow down our nervous system. We relax the nervous system. We're letting our nervous system know we are safe. That's the type of breathing that happens when we're feeling safe. And I like to close my eyes so all my focus is there. Third, you just remember either gratitude, compassion, love. And this could be for yourself or for another person or for a situation. But you recall these things and any one of these things. And you just get to that place of peace or gratitude or appreciation or love or compassion. And you breathe that in. And just stay with that. Now what you are doing is you are coming from your heart. You're coming from your heart and you let your heart lead. That's why on my website the tag is, trust your heart to lead. It's not just some catchy phrase. It's really what we must do in order to join in union. And once we join in union, now there's real power. This is the elevated self in form. And we will have that willingness to join with that power until we will see a shift in cause. We will see the shift of we're no longer identifying as this little personal self who's got to struggle and make things happen, but we identify with we are part of this God self who we just have to rest in and allow it to make things happen. And we let go of the outcome. Because this is the power of love and it's the only power there is. And it says in the Course of Love, right now, the thing that will serve you best is your perception from your heart. So slow it down, put your hand on your heart, slow it down your breathing, think of that love, that compassion, that gratitude, one of those, and just feel it. And now you've connected, and now you are in union. Now go out into the world and see through the observation of your heart. That is how miracles happen. Happy Miracle Monday. I hope you take this out today. I hope you look at the world through the perception in the eyes of your heart today, in the eyes of love, and you allow your Creator to love you today, just as you are. And for more resources, for blogs, meditations, to see just books and so forth, you can visit my website, www.dawnpetalino.com. Bye for now.